Welcome to IT Academy. In our today's video, we will talk about file list concept in IICS. This is the agenda for today's session. What is file list? How can we call more than one file in the source? How to dynamically create the file names and how to call an automation script in IICS. If you are looking for Informatica IICS, Power Center and PLSQL self-paced courses, please go to nicitacademy.com and go to the courses here. Just click on courses. You can find all the courses here. You can purchase the courses and start learning it. Thank you. We will start our session. Hello, everyone. Very good morning and good evening to all. So now we'll see one more concept is called file list in IICS. So what is file list in IICS? So it is similar to indirect file loading in Power Center. So we have the indirect file loading, right? The same concept. So here we have indirect file loading in IICS. See, your customer, you assume that our customer is placing the source file. So here I have the source file, right? So we have seen already how to read the data from source file. So you assume that some flat file they are loading the customer data or employees data. So they are having employees data here. So we have employees data. It's like one file they are loading. So first data we have loaded here. Yes. So then they just place the file here. We will start reading the file. We will load it into our data warehouse system. Yes. We will load it. We will process it and we will load it into target system. Right. This is what we will do. So they kept the file in the drop landing zone. We'll start reading the file. So through IICS, right? Yes. So through IICS we are reading. But you assume that so they have more number of files and some more team. Okay, it's not only one single team. Some other team also they are placing the file. It is not one single team. Assume that. So different teams are placing. It is not one single file. So they are going to send more number of files. Okay. So one file, second file, third file, fourth file, and fifth file. So this way they are going to send multiple files for today. Okay. You assume that multiple files for today. So they are going to send more files. 4 and 5, right? So 5 files they are going to send for today. So then we have to read all the files and we have to load it into a one single table here. So we have one single table, T underscore employees, right? So we have to read. So how can I read all the files at a single time and I have to load it here? So what we are going to do now, so all the file structures are same structure. Okay. All the file structures are same structure. That means if this one file, first file contains 10 columns, the remaining file also should have the same number of columns, same number of data type. So we have seen this kind of scenarios in our set operations, right? Union, all, intersect, minus. We will have the same structure table. The similar way. So here we are going to keep all this file in the same structure. Okay, so they are placing the file in the same structure. So then with the one file, we will create a mapping. One file structure, we will create a mapping, but we will inform IICS that it is not a single file. So we have the list of file. So that is called file list here. Okay. So file list. So we will inform IICS. Okay, it's a file list and the input file is there in this particular config file. Okay, so config file or some other file name you can give. Config.txt something you can place. So what is config.txt? So we are informing IICS that it is a list of file and instead of one single file, we have to read today 5 different file with the same structure. So all are like employees details only. Assume in that way. So one HR is creating employees 1, another HR is creating employees 2. It has some 100 records, 200 records, 150 records, 500 records, 600 records. So all these records we have to combine and we have to load it here. Okay, so how to load it? So this is a table here. Okay, so it's an Oracle table. You assume that it's Oracle table or any other target system. So it might be a Teradata, cloud or anything. So how can I read at a time from all the files and how can I load it into the target table? Okay, so how to do it? So we'll see now. All the file structure should be same. So it should not have different date and time format. If one single file is this format, all the file is same format only. So if I have different format, then we have to inform them. Okay, so all the files should have the same format. It should not have different format. Okay, you assume that customer is placing the file. So I will take the file in this particular path, input files. So here, see here, I will take the file in this particular path here. So how many files are there today? 1, 2, 3, 4 files. 4 files are there. We have to read all the 4 files. We'll check it here. Okay, so our file is, so this is the structure, right? So delimiter is, this is the delimiter. The tilde symbol, at symbol, hash symbol. So this is a delimiter for one file and we have to read all the file. So all the files are there in the same format only. So then I will create one config file. Okay, I will create one config file in the outside. So outside I will create one config file. So this way I will create one config file. It's, you can name it with different name also. Master file, config file, or any file. If you open the file, you can see here. So this is the file we have, right? Yes. See, make sure that the file path should not have any space. Okay, in between, we should not have any space. We should not have like this. So then Informatica cannot read it. So it should have the same this way path, or you can put underscore here. That's fine. Wherever you are keeping the file, yes, you have to keep the file in this particular path. Same path, you have to keep all the file. If you are keeping any other path, then fully qualified path you have to mention wherever you are keeping. See, as of now, we have 4 files, right? So we have defined 4 files here, this config. So tomorrow, if I'm keeping 5 files, yes, I have to put all the 5 files names here itself. So this is the config file we just created. So now I will go to IICS, we will inform. Okay, so this is my file list, right? Yes, I'll go here, new, I'll go to mapping, new mapping. I will just create a new mapping, normal. So this is the normal process we'll create, right? So m underscore file list. This concept is called file list. So for employees data, so I will take employees data here. So then I will take the source. Go to source, take the source here, connection. So wherever we are keeping the file, we have to put the same connection. We just created already this connection. I'll take this connection. So now the source type. So source type is single object for normal files, right? We have to choose file list here. So what is the option? We have to choose file list. Okay, so what is the file here? The config file we have to choose. Okay, so config file I have to choose. So do we need to configure anything on the structure? No need. See, now Informatica start reading that particular file. It will define the structure here. It will go for formatting, right? It will go for formatting. It's a delimited formatting. Go for this one and you can define what is the delimiter here. Yes, the delimiter is, this is the delimiter, right? So we can choose the delimiter, other delimiter. We can put the delimiter here. And we should have all the delimiters are same delimiter. So for each file, so which we process, we need to create the connection. No need. So wherever you have placed the file here. Okay. So wherever you have placed the file, so this connection we already created, right? So we can put the file here. If file is in different path, okay, so different path, but this is the root path. So this is the root path, but inside we have some different path we have. So then we can, no need to create a different connection. Okay, so we can use this path, but real-time project, we will keep one root directory for all the file system. So inside we will have multiple folders for the project level. So this is the way we will create it. And if it is root folder itself is different, then we have to create a new connection. Otherwise, no need to create, right? Yes, we have defined each characters and import from row number 1. And first data, we have to read from second character. Yes, we have to put for second character and click OK here. Second line, we are reading the data from the second line. So after defining all this, it's very simple. After defining all this, you can go to the preview data. You can just preview whether it is reading correctly or not, right? Yes, so it is reading correctly. So from all the data, it started reading. You can click OK here. Then we can go to the field. So don't forget here, this is very, very important. So since it is flat file, so we have to define this field data type, right? Go to options, edit metadata. Based on one file, we will define the data type. Okay, so employee ID, number of 10, and we'll go for hire date. It's a date and time format. And what is the format here? So date and time format. If it has different date and time, see here, one notable point is my date and time is it's mm-dd-4y. Okay, mm-dd-4y. So then we have to change the connection, right? Yes, we have to change it. I will tell you where to change. We have to define the connection changes. So why? Because we created file with different format. Now the file has different format. The connection is different, right? We have to change it. I will tell you where to change. Job ID, salary. So salary is number only. You can go for 10 digit, and commission percentage number. We can use 4, 2. 2 is nothing but scale, a decimal point, right? It's total 4 digit. Out of that, 2 digits are decimal point. So we have the number and 4, and my department ID is number 4 digit. See, based on the data, we can define all the column data types. Yes, this is the origin. From here it's coming. Okay, so now I will go to the source. So this connection is mm-dd-4y. Yes, it's correct only, right? So if you have doubts, just click on view on the connections. So what is the connection format we defined? So we defined date format is mm-dd-4y. Is the same format? mm-dd-4y. Yes. So then no issues. Okay. So we created correct way the connections and everything. So just we have defined the data types, right? So everything we have defined. And here, if you see this after saving it, you are saving it, you are seeing only type, precision, and scale. But we have seen previously native type also, right? So yesterday I explained. So what is this native type? Okay, so one more time I will tell you. So this native type is nothing but we have the source, right? So we are the source from flat file. So we are getting the data from the flat file. So what is the no native data type? And this is Informatica data type. So we'll convert. So this into this Informatica data type. So this one we are defining. Native types, this is the one we are defining in the flat file. Okay, it will read. So from there and it will convert. So anyway, if you are going to save it, so automatically it will save this way. Okay, so we are defined. So this one. So now I will go to the target. I'll go to the target here. I will take the target table. So here I will choose a target connection. And this is a target table I'm going to take. In our core schema, we have the table called T underscore employees. So this table I have to load it, right? So this table I have to load it. So we have already some data. So what I will do manually, I will truncate it. Manually, I will truncate it to show you that, okay, so there is no data as of now. We are going to load. So again, you can say, okay, you can do truncate in the mapping itself what you are doing here. So just I'm informing you, as of now, we do not have any data. So anyhow, I'm going to select truncate and load only. So here I'm going to select target here, T underscore employees, truncate and load, field mapping. So just to do the field mapping. So remember, all the 4 files should have the same structure. Okay, same structure. If it has different structure, mapping will fail. So we have created one mapping. So can I run it? Do we need mapping task for this? No need. You can just read it. You can run it. If you have any task level properties, you want to make some email or task level properties, pre-processing command, post-processing command, then you can use the task. But now we can run with the mapping. So just I'm going to run the mapping. It will execute. It is starting now and it will be queued on the server, on the cloud server, and then start running. It will allocate the resource. It will start running it. got succeeded. How many records? 428 records has been processed. So 428 records has been processed, right? Yes, we have 428. So we can check it here whether it has been loaded or not. Yes, it got loaded, all the data, right? So tomorrow you assume that there are some more files. 6 files we have. Okay, 6 files we have, and 7 files. You assume that 7, 6, and 7. You assume that as of now I just copied the file, but in the real-time project, the files are different number of records it may have, but the structure is same. 7 files. If I'm going to run, whether it will automatically read all the 7 files? No. Why? Why? Because in the configuration file, we put only 4 files, right? It will not read all the 7 files. Even though the customer placed 7 files, it will not read all the files, right? So in that case, so we have to change the config file. So what is the changes we have to do? Okay, 4, then this is 5th file, 6th file, 7th file. Okay, so you can ask me the questions. See, we do not know how many files they are going to place it, the customer. This is the landing zone. They are going to place the file. And how can I manually do it on daily basis? No, we should not do on daily basis. It should be automated way. So this config file we have to automate. So how to automate, I'll tell you. But now I will run this mapping, whether it is loading all the 7 files now. We'll check it. One file contains 107 record. So 7 files, we will see that. Okay, 749 records should get loaded, right? So 749 records, if it is loading, that means it's correct, right? So we have the 749 records. Check. So it has loaded. We can check here and count the number of records here. 749 records has been loaded. Okay, but we cannot take this one on daily basis, right? So we cannot create the config file on daily basis. So in that case, we have to create it. See here, the secured agent has been installed on Windows machine. Secured agent. So where the secured agent has been installed? Secured agent installed on Windows machine. So in that case, we have to use the batch command. So dot batch command. So we have the batch command for Windows. So if it is Windows, we have to use batch command. If it is Unix or any other system, then we have to use shell command, right? So shell scripting or command we have to use. So Unix or Linux, we will use this type of command. Okay. So here we will use the batch command. Okay. So what is the batch command to create? Okay. So we have the files in this particular path. So we have to go to this particular path, navigate to this particular path. So check how many number of CSV files available here. So create one files. So here also or inside also anywhere, but you have to keep the file here itself. So how many files are there? See, to avoid the confusion, I created one folder. So I will ask my customer to place all the input file here. So then we have to ask them to create the file. Okay, so what I will do today, I will place only 3 files. So this with this 3 files, this configuration file should create. So do we have the command? Yes, we have the command. So we have the list files. So we can keep the Windows batch file, or we can take so this one as command, and then we can use this command also. So if you see this, so this is the file. Okay, so it will go to the directory here, input files, C drive, SRC files, input files, and it will list down the files over there, and it will create one file called config.txt. So where it will create SRC files. So in this particular path, C drive, SRC files, config path. Okay, we will check it whether it is creating the file correctly or not. So just to copy this command, okay, I will remove this particular config file now, shift delete. Okay, so see here, I'll do shift delete here. There is no file as of now. I'll go to the command here. Okay, so command prompt, I will use, so command prompt. So go to the command prompt here. So just to paste it and run it, whether it is running or not. So how you are running the command here? It's a batch command, right? Windows command. Just we can run it. If it is executed, yes, it will create the file here. Has been created. See here. So how many files it should be created? With these three files. We kept three files, right? See here, three files. So fully qualified path it has created. So this file will be a source file. Okay, this file will be a source file for input for our Informatica. So then it will start reading. So tomorrow, if they are going to place the file with more number of file. Okay, so 5 files, you assume that. Okay, so here I have different name. So 5 and I'm making some 61, something. Okay, different name. Name is not an issue. But how many files we have? 5. So I will run one more time the same command. It should create the config file with 5 different files. See here, it has been created, right? So we should write the command this way. So you can use any other command. Okay, you can use any other command if you can search. Okay, if you are going to have any other file here, so you can search only CSV file. You can list down. I just created this particular command. Okay, in the real-time project, based on the secured agent where it has been installed, so you have to use the command here. Okay, where can I call this command, right? So first we have to create a task for this. Okay, I'll go to the task here. That is what the task has been used. Go to task here, mapping task. So mapping task, we have file list. Okay, so this way I'm going to have file list employee data. So then I will choose this particular mapping. Then this is the runtime environment mapping. Go to next. Schedule details. We are not going to schedule it. If you need email, yes, you can put email notification. So here we have the pre-processing command. So what is mean by pre-processing, right? Before start running the mapping, so this command, okay, before start reading the data from the file, this command will be executed. Yes. So in that case, I can use the pre-processing command here. So I will copy this command. So whatever the command we used here. Okay, so I will copy this command, Control C. I will paste it here. Okay, so this is the command I can use. And also you can ask me, so can we put this command in one particular batch file? So can we call the batch file? Yes, you can call the batch file also. So enter pre-processing script. So that should be executed before running this mapping task. So post-processing. Okay, after. So what is the post-processing? After loading the data to target table, if I want to zip all the file and you have to make it zip copy, you have to move all the file into archive folder. Yes, you can put those command in the post-processing command. So you can just try that options. So just I will finish it. So if you want, you can put any other options. Okay. So just I'm going to keep more number of files this time. Okay. So 4, 5, all this. So here I'm going to keep 4 and this is 5, 6, 7. Okay. 7 files. I'll put one more file also. So 8 files I'll keep. So more number of files I'll keep it here. So you assume that today the customer has placed, source team, they have placed 8 files. So now I'm going to run this mapping, whether it will read, we'll check it. Similar way, this time the mapping task is running, starting. Sometimes I'll tell you this IICS, sometimes this command will not execute properly. So in that case, if it is if you have executed the command in this particular Windows, it is executing fine, but it is not working in the pre-processing or post-processing. In that case, you can just restart your machine. So next time it will work. Okay. You just restart your machine, then it will work. So here, see here, I kept the file and it is running. It has executed 856 records has been loaded into the target table. You can check here 856. You assume that next day only 2 files they kept it. Our source team they put only 2 files and I'm starting I have scheduled, you assume that I have scheduled the mapping next day. Next day it is running. So this time, just I will schedule this mapping, right? That's it, mapping task. So next day it is running. On the particular time, I'm seeing only two files has been arrived. Okay, so today there is no data, much data. We have only two files, and I will start reading that file. I'm just running only these many records, right? So only 214 records has been loaded. So based on the number of files, it will automatically create the config file. So this way you have to put automation script. Okay. So this is one example. I have explained you one example for pre-processing command. Similar way, you can use post-processing command. Okay. After loading the data, if everything successfully loaded, then take this file. Okay. So take this file. So move this file into archive folder. So append some date for this file and then move it into archive folder. So this way you can put. So every time do we have to check source to check for updated files? No. See, whatever the number of files which is available in this particular path, we will schedule it, right? We will schedule this particular job and automatically it will go and check here and it will find, okay, so number of files today two, then start reading it. Okay, if there is no file, then it will fail, right? So it will fail. So not required if you have automated the population of the config file. Yes, it is not required here. So why? Because we already automated by using the command. So here we just created the Windows command. So you can check in the command prompt itself. So your own, you can do it. And then you can put the similar way, a zip file, all this you can check it and play in this particular pre-processing, post-processing command. So I hope you are clear. So this is the way we will automate this particular task. Okay.